Hey guys, this video is just to give us a little overview of what we missed today since it was canceled for a snow day. So I'm just going to go over some of the assignments. We would have started Unit 2, so I'm going to show you what Unit 2 looks like and kind of talk about what I expect you to have done for next class, as well as what we're going to do next class. So I just want to, this will be just an overview kind of thing that I would have done at the beginning of class. Hopefully you guys are staying safe and warm. I know it's pretty cold out there. So I'm here under the modules tab in our class in Canvas, and hopefully you were able to complete most of the Unit 1 assignments. As I said in the announcement, the quiz for sure you can do on Canvas and should be doing for today. These two assignments, the journal and the reading response, you had the option to either do it by hand, just write it on a piece of paper, or type and submit. So if you can type and submit them, I would appreciate that, because then I can get them graded and I can look over them. But if you just have them in paper copy and don't have time to type them up, you'll just have to bring them next class. It will show up as late in the grade book, but I can change that. And this is our second unit. Just opened it up and you can see that our schedule is now wrong because obviously we're not meeting today. But what we were going to do for the second unit was talk about writing the essay itself. And so we were going to go over things like organization, how to build tension in your story, what to include in the story, dialogue, that kind of thing. And so you'll want to refer back to the narrative essay assignment, which is the assignment sheet. So as a reminder, you are picking an event that has shaped your life somehow. It should be an event that occurred within a day or less. And so once you have your idea for your topic, then you can start writing out the story. The purpose of this assignment is to practice narration, which is the telling of the story itself. And so when you think about turning your event into a short story, that might help you a little bit with how you're going to put it together. Most students start their story with when it was, give context, when it happened, that kind of thing, and then kind of tell the story from there. And so I will be doing a second lecture video over how to organize the essay and everything. So that's what we were going to discuss and practice today, was the actual narration. So how to write a narrative essay. We practiced description last class, so don't forget you're going to be adding in those descriptive details. And then next class is when we'll talk about dialogue. So if you're not sure how to put dialogue in your story, you don't need it for the rough draft. You can just leave it out, and we'll talk about it next class, and hopefully then you'll have some ideas for where to put dialogue in your story. So that's the assignment, just as a reminder, and the ideas that we talked about last class are linked right here if you've forgotten or if you're having trouble coming up with ideas. I also have this lecture video here, which I will also link in the announcement, which is a instruction video on basically how to write a narrative essay. So it just goes over everything in a little bit more detail. And so if you're struggling, please watch this video because it will help you out a lot. Also things that are linked in here, I've got some information on dialogue. You're more than welcome to look over it. We will discuss dialogue in class next time, but if for some reason you can't come, you'll want to look over this information just in case. So we're doing three things in this unit. You are submitting your essay to the Writing Center. You are going to do a peer edit with this essay, and then you're going to turn in the essay itself. So submitting it to the Writing Center means that you will be sending it into the online writing lab to get feedback. We do not have an in-person tutor this semester, and so the only option is to use the online writing lab. And so the online writing lab there's a form that you'll fill out and you'll submit your essay. Now, you do not need to do this right now. Next class, I will go over, show you the form and how to do it, because most students find that the best way to do this assignment is just to wait until their peer edit day, and then they submit the same draft that they used for the peer edit. So don't worry about this assignment just yet, but once you have a full draft of your essay, then you can send it into the online writing lab. The other thing that we're doing is peer edit. So next class, we will go over peer editing information. So this is just here in case you don't come to class next week. And then there's the peer edit itself. itself. Now, the discussion board here, I have to do the description here. If you read through it, it may not make much sense. So I try to go over it with students. So I have a discussion board specifically for students who cannot attend class, because I want to make sure that if you are out of class for any reason whatsoever, that you still have an opportunity to do all of the assignments in the class. So the discussion board is only for students who don't attend class next week. If you attend class, then you will print out a copy of your rough draft and you'll bring it into class, and that's it. And we'll do all of the peer editing stuff in class. You won't even have to touch the discussion board. If you don't attend class, you want to make sure that you post your essay to the discussion board and that you go back in and do a peer edit for someone else's essay. Now, there's not very many of you in the class, and so like last semester, I didn't have a problem with this. This semester, we might have an issue where there's only one person who doesn't attend, so there is no other essay for them to respond to, which is why I have this option for extra credit. If you do attend class and you complete the peer edit in class, you can also do the discussion board for extra credit. And the discussion board, participating in the discussion board means either posting your essay or reviewing an essay that has been posted, or both, which is preferable, is that you do both, because that way you're helping somebody who wasn't here in class by providing an essay that they can respond to, and then also helping yourself, because you might actually get 2 peer edits at that point. So just kind of keep in mind that is an option. If you don't attend class, you can do the discussion board for extra credit. The peer edit, the grade that you get on the peer edit is just your response to the other student. So it's actually you giving feedback to another student. It's not just having a rough draft done. So keep that in mind, that that's the grade that you get. And I will talk about this in class a little bit next class period as well. But if you can't attend for whatever reason, post your essay right away, and then and hopefully somebody else will post theirs, and then you can get that going, and you'll be able to get those points for it. So the other thing I have in this module is how to put together an MLA paper. So that is the format with the 1-inch margin and the double spacing and all that. And there's a sample as well, so that you can get your rough draft formatted correctly. You do need to type your rough draft. Do not handwrite your rough draft, because if you handwrite it, then that's the only copy of your essay. So if you lose it, you're screwed. And then your peer has to read a handwritten copy of your essay, and that's just not pleasant. It's much harder to give feedback on and tell whether you're doing punctuation correctly and things like that. So make sure you type and print your rough draft. The last thing in this unit is the spot where you'll submit your essay. This is not due for 2 weeks, so don't worry about it just yet, but just kind of keep in mind that that's the submission that you'll do, the Canvas submission. You'll have a paper copy and then a Canvas submission. So that's the second unit. Like I said, today we would have done information on narration. So then next class, we're going to try and catch up a little bit, and we're doing the peer edit next class. So we are not changing the schedule any, unless for some reason next week's canceled, and then we have to figure something else out. So that's just what's going on. If you have questions, feel free to email me. Obviously, I'm checking and answering emails pretty regularly. And if you have any issues, if you need me to look over anything, just shoot me an email, contact me somehow, send me a text message, and I'll get back to you. Have a great week and save one.